Creating skills using a software like Antigravity is one of the most powerful things you can do to save yourself time, automate repetitive tasks in your business or personal life, and be as efficient as possible with AI. But before we get into how we create these skills, let's first understand what a skill is. In its essence, a skill is basically just taking one of your repetitive tasks that you have in your life and automating it with AI. For example, let's say you're spending 3 hours a day sending out cold customized emails to business owners. That would be a repetitive task that we can easily automate with AI. So we're going to take this repetitive task and we're going to break that task down into clear and understandable steps. Then we're going to take all these broken down steps and write them down into an instruction or prompt file, also called the skill.md file, which is basically just a hyper clear and specific instruction on what the AI should do. And finally, we have a finished skill that we can ask AI to execute on every single time we need to do this task, saving us 3 hours a day of manual work. So now that we understand what a skill is, let's get into how we create them. The first thing that we want to do is that we want to head into Antigravity. Antigravity is a software provided by Google, and if you don't already have it downloaded, come to this page right here, click download, and download it down to your preferred system. So if you're on Mac, download it for Mac. If you're on Windows, for Windows, Linux for Linux. I'm also going to be leaving a link to this website down below. Once you've downloaded Antigravity, sign in with Google, and you should see something that looks sort of like this. Then what you want to do is just click on the Open Folder button. This will open up the Explorer on your PC. Come to your desktop and just create a folder called Projects or something like that. For example, I have one called Antigravity Projects. I'm just going to click that. I'm going to create a new folder in here called Skill Builder. Click on it and click Select Folder down at the bottom right. This will open up the Explorer folder inside of Antigravity, and you're just going to click Yes, I trust the authors. Now we have the overall view of Antigravity. On the left side we have the Explorer view, where we're going to be able to see all the different folders. In the center right here is where we're going to specifically be able to see what is inside of our skill in our folders. And on the right side is the agent view, where we can chat with our AI and tell it to make changes and stuff like that. Antigravity comes with a built-in agent where we can use Gemini 3.1 Pro and also Claude Opus 4.6, but the usage is very limited. So if you have a Claude Pro plan, you can actually connect Claude Code to Antigravity. And to do that, you want to come over here on these 4 little blocks right here, click on it, and find the one that's called Claude Code for VS Code by Anthropic. You need to watch out for fraudulent extensions. Just find the one that's published by Anthropic and click on it and click download. Once that's done successfully, restart Antigravity and you're going to see a little Claude Code icon right up here. Simply just click on it and Claude Code view is going to open up, as you can see right here. Just click out of this and go back to the Explorer right here. And we can actually also close down this agent view, because now we're just going to be using Claude Code. And also to get our center part back, just click on this icon right here and just drag Claude Code over to the right. And we can adjust the view size just like so. Now that Antigravity and Claude Code is completely set up, let's start building the skill. Ironically, to build skills, we need a skill builder skill to do that. Luckily, that is a skill that Anthropic has already created for us. So what we can do is that we can go to their website or onto their official GitHub to essentially just steal that skill. Now, I think it's easier to just download it all from GitHub. So I'm just going to ask Claude what their official GitHub is called. Hey Claude, what is Anthropic's official GitHub called? I'm going to search the web. And it's called github.com/Anthropics. We're just going to copy this URL, paste it into Google. And as we can see, this is the verified Anthropic GitHub. There is a bunch of different things that we can do, but we're interested in skills. So I'm just going to click on skills again. And we're going to scroll down until we find the one that's called Skill Builder, which is the one that we want. Click on it and go copy the URL. Head back into Antigravity and just tell Claude Code to download this GitHub repository. Hey Claude, I need you to download this repository down into my Skill Builder folder. And just run it. And just like that, everything has been downloaded down from the GitHub repository. So I'm just going to quickly ask Claude Code to collect all of this under one folder called Skill Builder. Claude, can you please just collect all this under one folder called Skill Builder? Perfect. Now everything is collected in one folder called Skill Builder. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say /clear to clear this thread. Now we're just quickly going to open up a new Claude Code terminal and close down the old one so that it is updated correctly. All right. Now it's time to create the skill that we talked about before, which were the skill of sending out cold customized emails to businesses. For that, we're going to set Claude Code to plan mode and we're going to instruct it on what it needs to do. So I'm just going to say, hey Claude, I want to create a skill using the Skill Builder skill that allows me to create customized cold emails by just giving you their name and their business name. Once I give you their business name and their name, you're going to write out their whole email as well as the subject, specifically in my tone every single time. And we could then say, make sure that the emails are customized every time and that you do research about the business before writing the email. And then simply just come down here and click run. What's so awesome about this is that now Claude Code will ask me different questions to make sure it understands exactly what it is that I want to do. You can see it has asked me, what is the purpose of these cold emails? So I'm just going to have to instruct it on what that would be. So for example, we could say selling a service. And my tone, casual, conversational, direct and confident, professional, polished. If we don't like any of these answers, we could just click other and we could say a mix of casual and conversational and professional and confident. And just click submit. So by asking and providing answers to these questions, Claude Code will understand exactly what it is that we're trying to achieve. Now it's done, and as you can see, it asks me to accept the plan. If you want, you can go through the whole plan right here. But I'm just going to click yes and auto accept. Now it says that the skill has been created. If we come up here to the left and close the skill builder down, we can see it says cold email, and there also is a skill markdown file. So that is absolutely perfect. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to hit clear real quick. And I'm going to open a new terminal and close down the old one. And to test out the skill, I'm just going to come down here and paste in the message from before where it said cold email to Sarah Chen at Dataflow Technologies. As you can see, the first thing Claude did was to read the cold email skill, and now it asks me for permission to research about Sarah Chen. So I'm just going to say yes. If you don't want to have to respond yes to these questions, you can also just come down here and select bypass permissions. And now it has written the email. It has created a subject and called it Scaling Dataflow's Customer Onboarding. And below it has written the email out. Now it's our job to review it and see if it has nailed what we want or if we feel like we have to change something. I can already see right now that it has created dashes. And dashes is the #1 telltale sign that this is AI. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, first of all, you should never use dashes. I also feel like it's a little bit too formal. So I could say down here, I want it to be a little bit more friendly and conversational. It's a bit too formal right now. And regarding the structure of the output, like what it has done here with the subject, I wanted to do that with the email as well. So I'm just going to tell it to do that. I like the thing that you did with the subject, and then putting the subject, please do the same for the email. It now follows the structure and it has also removed the dashes. I could just say, please add these instructions and edits to the skillmd file. Done. Here's what changed in the skillmd file. No dashes, friendly and conversational tone, output format. So I could say, I want you to make this subject a bit more hooking and a bit more clickable. Also, I want the first line or 2 lines of the email to focus on some sort of observation that you've made about the business, something that you could compliment them on. I'm again just going to instruct it to save it to the skill. Please save these instructions to the skillmd file. I'm actually pretty happy with the overall content of the email right now. I just want to make sure that Claude formats it in the right way every single time. So again, I'm just going to ask it to make sure that the formattation of the email is in a specific way every single time that looks natural and human written. Please write out the email again so I can see what you've changed. I'm actually happy with how the skill works right now. What we can do is we can come down here and hit clear once again. Clearing the terminal. What we have now is a cold email skill that is in this folder right here. This folder now holds the skill of writing custom emails. So now every project that has this folder inside can now write a custom cold email if we just ask it to do it. To make an example, I could write an email to myself saying, please write a cold outreach email to Conrad from Loopy AI, just with a K right here. Click send, and it should read the skill file and execute on the skill. It then says, let me read the skillmd file. It read the file, and now it asks for permission to search about what we do, and I'm just going to say yes, and I'm going to set it to bypass permissions down here as well. 20 seconds later, it came up with a subject and also an email that is pretty damn solid. From myself to myself. Now, if you wanted to do this at scale, you could just open up 5 of these Claude terminals right here and just spam generate cold emails and just open up Gmail in another tab and send out these emails. If you're interested in grabbing this cold email skill, I'm going to be leaving a link to it down below as well. And that sums up how we create skills using Google's Antigravity and Claude Code to automate our everyday tasks. As I mentioned, I'm going to be leaving all the links to what I've used down in the description so that you can easily just grab what you want to use. For now, I'm out.